if somebody is complaining about killing now, the government were killing at the time. The government sponsor assassination of student activists. And these are some stories that people doesn't know. If they think, I don't think I've seen that these days, that a government say, go on. In those days, government will tell you that we want to exterminate the student activists, especially the military era. So when you're talking about the military era, I don't want to leave because I think I have a bright future in Nigeria at that time. So I reluctantly, for your information, when I was going to the embassy, I wore a bedroom slippers. I didn't come here with much. So I can tell you, I went to school with Obasanjo's sons, all these rich people, sons and daughter. I went to school with them. So and they flash things because of my political.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Lost Lagosians, a podcast covering topics about Lagosians, Nigerians, and Africans in diaspora. I'm your host, Brother Mike. Today, I have a very, very special guest, a highly sought after guest, someone that we've been trying to get a hold of, but he's been so busy because he has so much on his plate. And for lack of a better term, he's someone that I want to be like when I grow up. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Binkpe. Thank you for being here, sir. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you here.
You're welcome, bro, Mike. Thank you very much.
Very well. So how is the weather? How is everything?
I'm in Oregon. It's still a little bit cold here. We're expecting sunshine. Hopefully, we have some this weekend.
So on this show, we talk about Lagosians and their relationship with Lagos, as well as how they became lost. And lost in this term is a good word. It means you are not in the motherland. So do you mind sharing with us your relationship with Lagos?
Well, I didn't grow up in Lagos. I do visit and come back, and eventually, I think in 1991, I moved to Lagos after finishing secondary school at that time. So
is it the IBB days?
1990. Yes, that is during the IBB days. Yes, those are during the IBB days. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that was different, I would imagine, compared to Nigeria today.
What is common about life is change.
That's right.
So things have changed. Wherever you are, you cannot think it's going to be the same thing from what you experienced 10 years ago. It might be for bad, it might be for good. But it depends on the perspective you are looking at things. But yes, things have changed a lot. So I moved to Lagos. I visited a friend in Ajawa Estate along Airport Road, and he said, "Hey, there are works for you in Lagos. You can come and work." And I was helping with running a shop in Island. So we go from Ajawa Estate
to Lagos Island
every time. So it was a first experience. It was an experience I would never forget in my life, moving and traveling from Ajawa Estate. I mean, we the banking system is not what it is today. You can imagine that. So we sell every day, and we carry the bags full of money to the house, count the money. The following morning, we take the money to the bank, or at times when we go and buy products, we have to carry the money. The company that we trade with want the raw cash. They don't want bank draft or check or anything. So if you're comparing the changes, a lot of things have changed from those days to what we are experiencing now in terms of banking and how transaction is being made. Now on your phone, you can transfer millions. So those are good things. But in terms of infrastructure as well, a lot have changed as well. Oshodi used to be a busy place. I've been robbed in Oshodi before. Even going to Lagos, and somebody caught my bag from the back and everything in my bag, and they rushed me. They pick whatever they want. It was a gang, whatever. But if you go to Oshodi today, something like that is not very common. So I have a good and I have bad experience, and we cannot negate that a lot of good things has transpired in Lagos as we see it now, even as in Nigeria. While we are asking for more, and I don't know which way this interview is going to take, but definitely I'm ready to share my experience in Lagos with you.
Okay, thank you so much. So can I say you hustled? That's hustling, really.
Yeah, I also in Lagos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was hustling. That's hustling, and that's a bit of a gangster hustling, because I mean, in a good way, because you are carrying money. I mean, you have to be like tough to
Yep.
yeah. So you have to be tough. You have to be rugged. You can't be like a JJC, otherwise
I've
they'll be
carried about 250 through Oshodi before,
yeah.
even in
Back
those
in the
days.
day, yeah. Can
Back
you
in the
imagine
day.
that?
Yes.
250. I don't know what that is worth today, but that's some gangster move in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, what made you feel like I've had enough? I want to relocate. What was that trigger for you? Was it a Lagos experience? Was it after you got robbed?
No, as a matter of fact, I don't want to relocate at the time I relocated. I
Okay.
just finished service and I got a job with NEPA Yola. And apart from that, when I
NEPA?
was NEPA in Yola,
Like the NEPA company, the power company.
yes, National Electric Power Authority in Yola, because I serve in Nguru and I Nguru in Yobe State.
Okay.
I really, really, unfortunately, Nigeria turns to what it is today. I really enjoy my time in that place. And
That's enough though.
yes, it's not, and it was a place I was willing to settle down at that particular
Wow.
because it's totally different from what I was experiencing in the South, where everything is hustling, traffic, robbing, no security, nothing. In the North, I travel anytime. In those days, there was nothing to be scared of. When I collect my alawi when I was serving in Yobe, I always go to Yankari Game Reserve every month. You just go and relax. And it's a phenomenal environment for me that I really enjoy. So to go back to your question, and I was involved in campus politics as well. So my mother,
You might be asking which school you went to for the
I went
audience.
to the Polytechnic of Ibadan.
Oh, Ibadan Poly.
Yeah, I went to Polytechnic
Oh,
of Ibadan.
wow. That's nice. Yeah.
Based on my experience on campus, my mother was talking to somebody that, hey, you have to get this guy out of here, because she believed that definitely something might happen very soon based on what has happened to some of my friends who were killed. If somebody is complaining about killing now, the government were killing at the time. The government sponsor assassination of student activists. And these are some stories that people doesn't know. If they think, I don't think I've seen that these days, that a government say, go on. In those days, government will tell you that we want to exterminate these student activists, especially the military era. So when you're talking about
the military era,
I'm not the one of the people that would canvass that the military should come back to power. So I came home and my mother said, oh, I have an admission to go and school in US and all those things, and I should go for it. So they were get a passport and all those things. And I don't want to leave because I think I have a bright future in Nigeria at that time. So I reluctantly, for your information, when I was going to the embassy, I wore a bedroom slippers.
Wow.
Into the embassy. And
that's another level.
And on that day, I was the only one that would give it. I mean, while I was there at the counter and we're hearing what everybody is saying. So I think for me, it was like a young one of these consular officers just asked me, what are you going to do? I said, well, it's in your paper in your hand. I said, everything is in the paper in your hand. And what are you talking about? I said, well, you are asking me a question, talking to him with confidence and all those things. And it feels a little bit shocked that somebody is talking to me. This one doesn't even care. And I think that's the only reason why I got it, because I don't want to go. My mother was praying and fasting. So that is how I left the country. I got accepted to come and school. So I came here for schooling. And that's what happened.
And that's in Michigan, right?
No, I went to school in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Okay.
I went to school.
Is that I'm trying to take this to another level. Is that a little deeper? Is that indicative of most things in life, that things you don't care about or you don't fuss about, they always end up coming through? Whereas someone like myself, I had 3 appointments at the embassy and I was desperate just trying. I went to Yaba Tech too, but we're afraid of those guys from Ibadan Poly or Last Tech or anything like that. That was a whole nother level. So my question though is, would you say that in life in general, things that you don't care about tend to come to you, and things you want so bad sometimes you don't get?
That is my own philosophy.
Mm.
I don't really take anything with all strength or trying to, I have to get it. No, it's not. Even when I was in school, I never pray for A. I'm not the kind of people that will be praying that I want to have a distinction. I want to have a distinction. Or I'm not the kind of person that will say, oh, I must have this by all means. That is not my philosophy. And I take things so light. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have anything. And I'm ready to lose anything at any particular point in time. So I think some people is like you have to be systematic, you have to be meticulous, you have to do everything to get it. Yeah, for me, that is not me. As a matter of fact, anything that I thought I'm very planned and I think I'm good at this thing, there's no way I always fail in it. Math used to be my best subject, but I can tell you that I'm always on the borderline to pass math because I always have this too much confidence that normally lead me to not taking my time to solve the problem. So that doesn't justify that you cannot work hard, you cannot plan, but don't lean on your own wisdom all the time. Because at times, so that when you meet frustration on your way, you can say, "Hey, I already planned for this." Don't People will say, "Oh, I have to marry this person by all means. I have to have this car. I have to have this house. I have to." You are setting an example by other people, and that is where destruction comes mostly.
Yeah, so live a life whereby you don't fuss about a lot of things in life, and maybe things can come to you easier. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, indirectly, you achieve more when you are not under pressure
I
to
like the
get
sound of that.
to
Yeah.
get to the end. Just plan and continue to follow through. And if you're a prayer warrior or something, just pray along that line that, hey, this is what is going to come and all those things. And I believe that is how things get done easily. Uh, you are not under any pressure. You see the politicians in Nigeria, those who are saying, I have to, I have to, I have to. They kill, they join courts, they join all those things and all those things. And in that case, it's just those who put them are the one that is going to be controlling them. Oh, I have to have this man. This is the woman I have to marry. This is the man I have to marry. Those are the things that really, really get people destabilized psychologically. But you say, "Oh, I like you." If you don't want to date me or you don't want to marry me, I move on and go to another person.
That's
They
right.
do or die affair. But if you say you have to marry this person, you can. If you want to entice that person with money, you go outside your way. If that doesn't work, you have to go and be involving in occultic or juju thing, and that you are. What are you going to enjoy in it? And the same thing with the car. I have a cousin who sold her father's property to travel abroad. Unfortunately or fortunately, the visa was not given to him. He has to go back home. So we have a lot of people who did the desperate things when we were growing up. So
No, so this brings to mind stoicism for me, the Stoics. And stoicism is basically the endurance of pain or hardship without any complaining or murmuring. The Stoics have 4 different principles, if you would. One of them is courage. Stoics are very courageous people. Another one is moderation. They don't do things that is bigger than themselves, Justice is another one. And then there's wisdom. So the other people that have said Stoics are actually, they have a lot of forbearance and patience. So if you are patient, I think Nigerians say a most patient dog is the fattest bone. So, but what you're saying, your philosophy is basically, well, what is mine will come to me. I don't have to force or fight for it. How did that translate though? So you come to Atlanta, you started your first year. I mean, how was that experience, the cultural shock?
the cultural shock for me, I don't think I experienced one. And
Okay, that's interesting.
reason is because
Why not?
I don't care. I was not moved. I wanted to blend. I was just so natural to myself. You understand? Let me tell you a story that happens to me. I don't have any money when I first came here. I don't have. I went to the store during a sales. I can't remember. Maybe it's a Christmas or what have you. And I bought these yellow shoe. It's a Air Jordan. Yellow, but it's so yellow, like yellow. And this is the only thing I can afford. I bought it for $12. The same color, if it is black or other color, is being sold for like $100. But I think this has been, and I was wearing my shoe on over anything.
So you're the guy with the yellow shoes. I'm sure they gave you a name then.
I don't even know. So I found that some guys will be coming to me to ask me the way they were talking. They will be, it's like they are trying to flirt with me. You know, yellow on black is a signal that, hey, maybe this guy is a gay or something.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and people will be laughing at me. I wasn't moved. I wasn't. That is me, because that is the only thing I can afford at that particular point in time. I was wearing it to school. People will be looking at me in school and be laughing. So when you're talking about cultural shock, it wasn't there. However, in the terms of language, because I came here, I went to historically black school. I went to Clark Atlanta University initially.
HBCU, yeah.
HBCU. So I was taking this class. Is an English 101, GNS 101, I think.
All right.
And the guy made us to read a lot of books. And in every class, he dictates. We are having quiz in every class. So he always dictates questions, and I don't understand. I couldn't get
his accents. Yeah, blacks, African Americans have the Ebonics. They have different accent. Yeah,
most of the time he was speaking Ebonics.
Yeah.
So by the midtime, I was failing the class.
Okay.
So, and in Nigeria, you don't go to your professor unless you are looking for a favor. So when you're talking about culture, for me, that is one thing. So I never talked to him or anything.
Because you didn't think there was a need to, based on where you're coming from.
Where I was coming from is, you don't go to your professor. You understand, to go and complain about your grade. Unless you are looking for a favor or whatever. So at the meantime, this man, you have to go and visit him because you are failing the class. So he invited you, he scheduled a one-on-one with you to come and talk to me, like, hey, you are failing my class. If you continue this way, you might not come out of this class with a passing grade. Do you want to drop it or not? So he called me.
So he's giving you like a heads up.
Yeah. So he called me and he said, what is the problem? Why are you failing? And I told him that I understand all your question when you are solving it, but when you are talking, I don't get it. Because so the guy was so surprised that, how come you haven't talked to me? And I said, well, where I'm coming from, you don't go to your teacher to go and complain about anything. So that's a culture shock for me in my professional life. So we talked on that day, and the guy said, next time you are in class and I'm dictating and I'm talking or you don't understand, just raise up your hand and again or something. As it is, so he graded me based from that midterm to the end. So I end up having an A in the class. So that's a new
good
thing
story.
To me. So since then, I begins to take the officer or professor serious when I do not understand something. In the terms of lifestyles and everything, I didn't come here with much. So I can tell you, I went to school with Obasanjo's sons, all these rich people. Sons and daughter, I went to school with them. And they flash things, but because of my political...
You went to school there in Nigeria, not Atlanta here?
I went to school with them here.
Oh, in Atlanta?
In Atlanta, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We never connected, and they never moved me. They know me as somebody who doesn't like them, I guess. So, because they flaunt the words and all those things.
Yeah, right.
So right. I think I get more baffled about them than even the culture or the American cultural system. So
yeah, so for those who are trying to leave Nigeria or those who want to leave, I mean, And if you were in a position to give them a word or two of advice about your experience and your story, how would you put that? So if you had an audience listening, they're like, okay, this guy left and I want to leave as well. How would you kind of address them? Given that you are pretty much saying be patient, don't force anything, which is a contradiction.
Well,
A contradiction to them, to those,
if
because
you
they're
want
like,
to leave
Nigeria,
and
we
you
have
have
to
the
japa.
opportunity, please, you can leave. But what I don't want you to do is to be desperate about it. When I mean desperation, some people people have pushed to me before that, hey, we can go through deserts and come here, or go through Mexico and come here and all those things. My brother and sister, it's not that easy any longer. People will not tell you the story of how many people that lost their life in that journey as well. Yes, you hear the story of those who made it through. And when you come to US, especially, I'm in US, I know about US, I don't know about European countries. When you come to US, it's more dignified if you come a a right immigration document on rather than trying to hide under the pretense of you want to use somebody's else paper or something like that. I've never experienced it. Let me tell you one thing. When I got here, I've helped a couple of people to come after me for schooling. These people got their citizenship way ahead of me because they got here, they went to go and marry somebody and others. I have that opportunity. I said no. You understand? I'm going to, because I just don't see it as a way forward for me. So that is me. So if you want to come and you, because of lack of job in Nigeria, because of insecurity, if you have the opportunity, please come. However, do it in the right way. Do it in a proper way, because that will give you peace of mind. When I see some people who are struggling, sleeping under the homeless, being homeless, sleeping under the bridge.
Here in America.
Here in America. That really, really baffles me. And that makes me to share, to weep. I've known some people, in the case of looking for papers to be stable, they've lost their life in it after 15, 20 years. I have at least 4 stories like that I know them personally. So I'm more sentimental on people coming here without a proper documentation.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's a really, really great advice. And I 100% agree with everything you just said. Is there any final thoughts as we kind of wrap up this episode? I mean, for our audience.
I came here, people might be wondering that who's this guy that is talking. I use myself as a story in any way I'm talking about. I want to tell people that wherever you are, you can make ends meet. And I used to tell people that what is the purpose of life generally? Is it to be rich? Is it to be wealthy? Is it to be, I don't know. What is the purpose of life for you? I just want to live and let others live. That is my purpose. That's my brand. I want to make other people to enjoy their life. There are many things you can do wherever you are that can makes you comfortable. Don't set the goal. Don't set your goal based on other people's achievement. You set your goal. I came in here. The person that accommodated me pushed me out after 8 months because I saw opportunity to go to school and I wanted to go to school, but unknowing to me, it is maybe they have different ideas. I never been to club in America. That's why I say my life is different from other people's life. You understand? I've never been to club. People go to club and all those things. I focus on the school. I redo my bachelor here, redo my...
wow, you had to start over again.
I have to start over again. And,
wow.
To the level that I read through, I started over again. So you just have to be focused and just don't set goal for yourself based on other people. You understand? Don't copy your cousins, don't copy your friends. Let your friends live their life. I will tell you that I did not earn money for the first years that I came to US. I was
Your
just
first 10
focusing
years.
on
Wow.
school.
Just focusing on schooling.
I was
Wow.
just focused first 12 years, as a matter of fact. I was just focusing on the school. I was doing all I was doing is within the school and all those things. Some people say, hey, drop out and come and do this work and all those things. And I said, well, the end justified the means.
That's right.
I'm not a typical person when it comes to and I was telling my family back at home that you're not getting anything from me because I don't have. You have to let people know. I'm not the kind of person you will
They
see.
have to be patient.
You are, and one thing about it is that if you are here, don't flaunt what you are not. Don't go and take picture in front of Lexus or what have you when you know you don't own Lexus. Your life is affecting some people psychologically.
That's right. Especially today in the day of social media.
If you are still struggling, let them know you are still struggling. If you have a little bit, because the more you cannot complain that people are asking you for money right away from Nigeria, when every time what you do is to be showing
pictures of
shirt or what have you and all those things. Some people will put pressure on you, but if you, that doesn't mean you cannot wear nice dress. But let us be humble. People are really, really struggling back at home. And psychologically, we are putting them under unnecessary pressure. That, hey, being players make it, that is, oh man, where am I? Is my head bad or something like that? You understand? And most of us knows that we don't even have savings in this country. We know that some of these things that we are buying, we bought them on credit card.
Yep.
We know that definitely our car is right there in the parking, is in workshop that we're trying to fix. Don't put people back at home on unnecessary pressure. We need to help each other to relieve ourselves for what is going on in the world now. My brothers and sisters, we just came out of COVID.
The pandemic, yeah.
And recession is kicking on in every part of the world. It's not only in Nigeria, even in America now. We don't know what is going to happen. We have a role to play to heal people, to heal mind, to meet people psychologically. And I believe that the way we put things together, the way we put things across matters a lot. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Bimpe. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening. That's all we have for today's episode. Until next one, Eko Onibaje. Bye now.